we began to see a slight pop across the board, including the S&P 500. But as you can see right now, the SPY made this little intraday double top from yesterday into today, and now it is selling off even further, potentially going to break below its structure right around 587. We also saw a slight bounce on Bitcoin after it hit 91,300, and we have been saying Bitcoin needs to hold 91,000. If we do not hold 91,000, you come down to 86 to 84k, and that is at this line down here, and that is also the line in the sand until we get down to structural support, which will cause a lot of people to panic, which is all the way down to around 72 to 73k. We saw the same bounce over on XRP all the way up to almost test resistance at $2.15 to 16 cents, but we came all the way up to about 214, 215. At this point, at this moment, we are about to see if everything is about to explode coming into the new year, or have one more little flash down, or a complete crash. And the market is giving us mixed signals. There's one signal that's not mixed, and it's GameStop. And we're going to talk about that in today's video. So make sure to watch the video all the way through, like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn post notifications on, all that good stuff. Let's get into it. Okay, so SPY is trading at 587.50. We are getting a nice big old red candle. However, you have to keep in mind that the SPY has done this several times before catapulting higher, and we could see that catapult higher coming into Thursday and Friday. The market is going to be closed tomorrow for New Year's Day, and I'll tell you what I expect from Roaring Kitty. But you can see that the SPY has done this in the past, getting a red day after this indecision candle, and then absolutely skyrocketed like it did on November 5th. Now, there's no saying that that is going to be exactly what we see. We could see one more flush down like you saw back here on September 6th. Before that rally higher, which is ultimately what we were expecting, we expect to flash down to between 584.35 and 582, and then come all the way up and hit our price target. Okay, that is essentially what we could see happen, or we could just see it come lower before coming a little bit higher. As GameStop gets to its peak early to mid-January, the SPY and Bitcoin may inverse it, that you may see some liquidity being pulled out of some other things. Now, Jim Cramer has said to sell GameStop as well as AMC, which is extremely bullish. You always want to do the opposite of this guy. And these people basically realized Sanctuary Advisors bought 10,035 shares of GameStop. We are continuing to see institutions load the boat. Now, it is coming into a new year. What does that mean? That means that institutions could be offsetting short sale losses that are unrealized by purchasing the stock just to make their books look a little bit better. Now, looking at GameStop right now, this is a beautiful setup that we see on the chart trading at $32. Notice how you have not gotten the dip buy opportunity at all recently, right? They're not giving it to you. That, to me, explains that something big is coming. And based off of what we've been tracking back here, this pattern, GameStop has done the same exact thing before mooning higher. I mean, take a look at this candle pattern setup before that massive Hulk candle, right? You're seeing the same exact setup, this ping ponging between $31 and $31 and $33, right? With that being said, do we squeeze on New Year's Day, or do we begin the squeeze on New Year's Day? Or do we have to wait and come all the way to January 9th, right? These are the questions that we have to ask. Now, I personally expect a Yolo tweet at midnight tonight when the ball drops from Roaring Kitty. This is far-fetched. Take this with a grain of salt. I'm just saying it would be 4 years from December 31st, 2020, when he dropped his Yolo post on Reddit, right? We see this on Wall Street Bets right here. Deep effing Value dropped his Yolo 4 years ago, and if it's a requel, he does the same thing tonight. What is going to be in the box? Is he going to come out and shock everybody with ownership of AMC? I don't know. I don't know what it's going to be, but you know it's going to be a fuck ton of GameStop shares. Now, I also want to point out GameStop on the weekly time frame. Look at the Bollinger Bands here. Look at how aggressive this has been, hugging the top of the Bollinger Bands. This trend is absurd, and this is the weekly, okay? So you're saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 green weeks, 1 red week, 1, 2, 3 so far, more green weeks, all at the top of the Bollinger Bands, wicking out, which means, right, it's been testing for this spring to absolutely launch us straight out of the Bollinger Bands. You saw something very similar back here during the melt up, which is what we are tracking, obviously, right? You saw something very similar right here, just ripping the top of the Bollinger Bands, cooling down a little bit, and then monstrous move, okay? So GameStop is just looking absolutely beautiful. Now, I also wanted to point out XRT, yeah, still sitting on the threshold securities list. No one is really talking about this anymore. This is the ETF that holds GameStop that is shorted over 300%. And we also still haven't gotten our FTD data on GameStop, all that hidden FTD data. The SEC denied to give that over. We are also seeing somewhat shorter, lesser short exempts on GameStop, just somewhat, but a lot less on AMC, which is just a little bit odd, okay? 12,000, 22,000, 23,000. Again, I have never seen this the past years that I've been watching this stock. Something different is happening. I'm not sure what exactly it is, but AMC is coming down into this range still, just sitting here, okay? Sitting at $3.94. I have said it, and I'll say it again, AMC under $4, dip by opportunity. AMC under $4, dip by opportunity. Watch for, if we break below $3.89, for a move down to 380, 381, right down to this line. If we break below that, watch 371. If we break below that, 314, and I don't see us breaking below that. If we did, you're likely to see a squeeze off, at least temporarily, or a very sharp valley, and then a peak into a squeeze like you see with Volkswagen, which would bring us down to 199, right? These are just random possibilities. I don't see that actually happening. I think, like Roaring Kitty said, right? When I move, you move. Just like that, AMC is going to move, okay? AMC also has seen tons and tons of off-exchange volume. I mean, look at this, 60, almost 70%. Every single day, almost 65%. Look at the off-exchange volume up here in the white compared to the lit volume, right? It's disgusting, and that's probably why you're seeing less and less short exempts. They're just trading it on the off-exchange. GameStop as well. Take a look at this, right? Off-exchange volume, absurd compared to the lit volume. FFIE, we got out of it way too early. We could have had more disgusting profits and had entered more call contracts, but you are never certain on a play, and that is why you just take your profits. There is nothing wrong with taking some profits off of the table. FFIE came all the way up to the 786 on the fib, right around $4.50. Is this thing done? Not necessarily. Take a look at how much volume has come in on FFIE, and this thing in May ran so high. Okay, so this could just be the start of FFIE, and that is why you definitely still want to keep it on your radar, right? However, keep in mind, FFIE now has a gap fill to the downside, right around a $1.80. So watch that level. It could also just come down and build a base right around 225. Ultimately, it is getting a nice little pullback right now. It doesn't have to fill that gap, but this one is definitely still looking squeezy. MicroStrategy, we talked about this yesterday, and it happened coming down under 300, which I said was a put range for this play, but it could hold up at this gap fill down here. Okay, puts under 300 takes you to 291.75 and then potentially 281. Puts under 300 would have taken you to 293. Okay, so that would have been a $7 move on MicroStrategy if you did enter that. And this is still looking weak here, right? This looks like it wants to break under the 300 support here. So if you did enter those puts, don't worry about it, right? In my opinion, nothing I say is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Take this with a grain of salt. Let me know what you think about MicroStrategy in the comments down below. If Bitcoin does end up breaking below 91K, MicroStrategy comes crashing down, at least down to about 275 in my opinion. And that is what I would be watching. Now, Palantir came into a zone that we had drawn out as well. Once again, testing it. Everything is getting a little bit of a cool off, making it look like we are about to explode coming into the new year, which is very, very, very possible. However, we have to note that institutions have been selling stocks at the fastest pace since 2009, even though we have seen this melt up in the SPY, right? Momentum is fading, and institutions, I'm not sure what they're doing exactly, but there are a lot of ways that they love to move their books around coming to the new year for tax season and tax reasons. Tesla, obviously, coming back down to this support. There's really not much to say here. We talked a little bit about it yesterday, called this out perfectly. I still think Tesla at some point is coming down to 362.60 to 371.50. I think that is something that I see happening coming into late January, maybe mid-February. And that is my price target on Tesla, to come back down there and test that support level before moving higher, which are some decent put opportunities in my opinion. Nvidia breaking back below this channel, even though it wanted to break up, but again, it tested a supply zone we had and it got a hard rejection once, twice, and a third time. And now Nvidia is selling off. If Nvidia doesn't hold 135, watch 132.50, then 130. If it doesn't hold that, easy puts under 130 to 123. Now to close out the video, I want to show you guys the masterpiece that I made yesterday. Maybe Roaring Kitty sees it, maybe he doesn't. Yeah, hopefully you guys like that. That's just some inspo that I got from Roaring Kitty. Overall, guys, that is it. That is what I got for you for today's video. Enjoy your New Year's Eve. Getting into the new year, expect that YOLO tweet tonight, and this could be a potential last buying opportunity for calls and shares on AMC and GameStop. But again, just speculation, pure speculation. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. We are almost at 31K subs, and we could easily get to 50 if everyone who watched the video actually subscribed. And go retweet this if you have Twitter. Get this video out there if you enjoyed it. There are 2 links in the description that are at the very top, and I'm going to pin them in the comments for you for the brand new year. Do not miss out. Come join the Discord. It's time to level yourself up, guys. We talk stocks and crypto in there all day long. I post my trades as soon as I take them. We have market news alerts in there, so it's a one-stop shop for everything that you need. We also have option sweep orders, insider trade alerts, dark pool trade alerts, so you can really see what is going on inside of the market. That is the top link in the description down below. And if you want up to 15 free stocks, use the second link in the description for Moomoo. It's a free broker. Open an account and deposit into your account once they approve you, and you will start earning free stocks, as well as 8.1% APY on your uninvested cash, level 2 order book data for free, access to trading options, going long, going short, viewing other exchanges, and more as a retail trader. You will not regret it. Again, those are the links in the description. That is it. I love you all. Lottery Stocks out.